Really good performance, up by 6.6% to achieve that pass rate of 88.2%. So let's come back to our in-studio experts, Professor Rolnick, Professor Walton. Professor Walton, what do you think of this categorization of the provinces? Free State now up in pole position, beating the Western Cape. Is it good to set it up like that?
So what I think it does is it does allow us to look at each province separately, which I think is helpful at one level. But it does worry me that the assumption is that all provinces are equally able to address the challenges that are facing the education system, and the assumption that we're all in a competition with level playing fields. And clearly we're not. The composition of the provinces is really different. The backgrounds, the histories, the histories of exclusions in the provinces are quite different. A province like Gauteng deals with the fact that a lot of people moved into Gauteng, and so it's a bit of a shifting situation in terms of its educational challenges, and other provinces have other challenges. I'm not suggesting that Gauteng is the only province with challenges, but I am concerned that we set up, however amicably, the sense that we're competing among the provinces. And then I think that trickles down to the fact that we then set up, well, these were the best districts in each province. And we've the minister commented on the top districts per province, because then it goes down to, well, which were the top schools per district, and that competition, I think, doesn't necessarily bode well for improved teaching and learning. It makes the focus on how can we improve our results, our overall result, rather than how can we improve teaching and learning, because there are all sorts of ways that you can improve results quickly and easily without necessarily improving teaching and learning.
Do you agree? I would think competition may push people to achieve that.
I agree with her 100%, because she's got to the very point of the matter. It's possible to push kids through exams without them actually learning very much. There's what we call the drill and practice approach, where the children can be drilled and practiced to write an exam and forget everything that they learned the day after, versus the teacher who gives the children a good education, which has got a lot of meaning and understanding. It's not just about self-advancement. For example, we talked about the bachelor's passes earlier. Not everybody needs to go to university. There are a lot of very productive things somebody can do with creativity, with intelligence, which they can get a bachelor's pass for and not necessarily go to university. There are other things they can do.
We were talking about those teacher standards earlier. You mentioned an interesting point that teachers themselves who go to a master's level perform very well in teaching sort of older students. What about those foundations? Now, we're often worried about younger students, maths and science. What are you noticing?
Well, at our university, we've got a numeracy program. There's also one at Rhodes. And these are funded by First Rand Foundation chairs. And what that has led to is a whole lot of people doing masters in foundation phase education. So you've got teachers who are teaching grade 1, 2 and 3 who've got master's degrees. And that makes for very high quality education. It makes for meaning in the teaching of maths at grade 1, 2 and 3. I'm helping a child who's in grade 3. And I find it is very difficult to teach grade 3 maths. Teachers who teach grade 3 maths have my greatest admiration.
I'd love to talk about technological tools and things, but we're running out of time. I want to talk to you about those bachelor's passes again. We were talking about the quality, whether it gets you into university in the first place. But do you think we're focusing too much on this 13 years of school, getting into university if you can, rather than vocational training, leaving earlier to go and get a skill? Are we setting things up correctly?
Well, this time last year, the Minister announced that the Department of Basic Education was pursuing a 3-stream option, that there'd be an academic stream, a technical vocational stream and a technical occupational stream. The idea being that there would be alternatives for learners to move out of an academic stream and pursue those technical, vocational and occupational courses, which would still lead to qualifications, assist with skills, and also would address some of the dropout issues. We've still got to see where that's going to go, and also we need to get to the point where that is seen as a desirable option and not a second grade option for learners.
All right, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this discussion this evening. Professor Marissa Rolnick, specializing in science and maths, Professor Elizabeth Walton, also an educational expert, both from WITS. Thank you for joining me. And we'll take a short break. We'll look at your weather, and then Peter and I will be back with your headlines. Stay with us.